Hi and welcome back to Suricata Crafts. I'm Rebecca and today I'm going to start the tutorials for the Bella Vita Shawl for the crochet along with the 3-in glasses girls. I'll be going through the pattern, the different stitches, different techniques, things you might need to know so that anybody can follow along. So I've got my size 1 superfine yarn. It's a 250 gram cake and it has 1,000 meters and 190, almost 4 yards. This one is 55% cotton and 45% premium acrylic. I usually start my cakes by pulling from the outside, but I'd like to start my shawl with the pink on the inside. So Yarn Art Flowers has handy little start tags. So that will start pulling from the center. The only thing is, as I go out, my ball will start to collapse. After I reach about the end of the dark pink, I'm going to have something to put this in so it doesn't collapse and turn into yarn barf. But if it works for you, I suggest starting from the outside. I have a 3.5mm hook, which is what the pattern calls for, my 1-weight yarn, but you can use any yarn, any weight, and any corresponding hook that you like. If you want your stitches to be tighter, you're going to go down in hook size. Start by just going down 0.5 of a millimeter. So instead of a 3.5, use a 3. If you want it to be drapier and have more movement, go up a half of a size. So instead of a 3.5, you'd use a 4mm. The yarn that you buy usually has a hook recommendation. This one suggests 3mm, but the pattern's going for a 3.5. So I'm assuming that the designer, Wilma Westenberg, would like it to be a drapier shawl. So I'm going to go ahead and follow the pattern recommendation, not the yarn recommendation. So we're going to start with a slip knot. So I wrap around my fingers and just pull that through. But there are easier ways to do it. Some people wrap it around twice, lift this one over, and pull your bottom string. That's the easiest way to make a slip knot. We're going to insert our hook, pull it tight with the long string. I'm going to pull a bit of yarn out. And we are going to start. The pattern calls for a chain 4. So all we're going to do is we're going to wrap our yarn over, pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. We're going to slip stitch in the first stitch. So I like to go in the back loop. So there's we'll pull it in a little bit. There's a V stitch here. We have goes in and out. So I like to turn it and go in the loop on the back. And I'm just going to pull through that loop and pull through the second loop on my hook. So now we have a circle. We're going to be stitching into here. So into the loop that is made. This is usually how most triangle shawls start, is with a loop made by chains. That is just your starting stitch. We're going to, for row 1, we're going to chain 3, 2, 3. We're going to do 3 double crochets into the ring. So I'm going to pull this up a little closer. We're going to yarn over. We're going to go into the center of our ring, so in between the stitches. So we have a yarn over through the center, yarn over, pull up 1, so we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to do this 3 times in total. So that was 1. We're going to yarn over, go into the loop, pull up, through 2, and through 2. Yarn over, into the loop, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now we're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and we're going to do 4 double crochets. So we started this by chaining 3 and then did 3 double crochets. This first chain 3 is equivalent to our first double crochet. So technically we have the equivalent of 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets. Then we chain 2, and now we're going to do 4 more double crochets. 1, yarn over, pull up 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up 1, go through 2, and go through 2. So that's 4 double crochets, chain 2, 4 double crochets. This is our first row, and if we can use our imagination, this side is going to come out, it's going to go down to the point, so this is going to be our center line. So going to do this line down here is going to come from here. This line is going to be this edge, and this line going out here is going to be this edge. That's how you start your first row. We're going to follow the pattern. These are your double crochets, your chain space, and your double crochets. If you read in the notes provided by the pattern, the first 3 chains of a row count as a double crochet. So that's how we counted 4 double crochets, chain space, 4 double crochets, even though we only made 3. The last stitch of a row is made in the 3rd chain of the previous row. So when we zoom in here, we have our chain 3 space, 1, 2, 3, that's the chain 3 we started with, and we're going to go into this stitch, the 3rd stitch, when we reach the end of row 2. Double crochet stitches above chains of the previous row are worked around the chains instead of inserting the hook through the loops. So that means when you come to your chain space, you're going to insert your hook straight into that hole. You're not going to insert your hook into the loops. You're just going into the hole, and it'll give you a smoother row of holes going down the center of your back. The last thing, counting does not include the 2 chains in every corner. This means that when we're back here at our chain 3 that we started with, when we count our chains, 1, 2, 3, the only one you ever need to worry about is this one. You don't count these. For example, when we start row 2, we are going to chain 1, 2, 3. That's the only time you ever need to worry about these first 2 stitches. The 3rd stitch right here is the one that we're going to continue to use. Now, you're going to go to your pattern and you're going to continue for row 2. So we've started with the chain 3. We're going to yarn over. It says 2 double crochet into the first stitch. So we've chained our 3. 1 stitch comes here, 1 stitch goes here. We are going to go into under these 2, this V here. We're going to go in there at the base of our chain. And we're going to yarn through, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then we're going to yarn over and go into the same space. Pull through 2, pull through 2. So now we have the equivalent of 3 double crochets in the first stitch. It says to put 2 double crochets in every stitch to the corner. We've reached the point in the pattern where there's a special instruction. You can see it between the asterisks in your pattern on row 2. So this is going to say we're going to double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So we're going to work right into our chain 2 space, remember? We're going to go right into that big hole and we're going to double crochet. Then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. We have 1 double crochet, chain 2, and then we're going to go back in the same hole and do 1 double crochet. Then we're going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch to the end. So we're going to go under those 2. We're going to go under the next one for a double crochet, under the 3rd stitch for a double crochet, and then we're going to go and do what I described when we were looking at the notes. We're going to yarn over and then looking at this first stitch of the last row, we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to pick up this stitch, which would be your 3rd chain, put it right through, pull through that one, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, go back in the same hole, pull up a loop, pull through 2 and 2, go in the same hole, pull up a loop, go through 2, go through 2, and that is the 3 double crochets in the 3rd chain in the last stitch. Then we're going to turn. You're going to follow your pattern until you reach row 18. So all the skills that you need, we've just done. You follow along with your pattern and I will meet you on row 18. I've had a few questions sent to me with regards to a confusing instruction in the pattern. So this is a copy of the free pattern and this is a copy of the paid pattern. So if you notice in row 15 it says 2 double crochet around the chain bow, 2 double crochet till corner. There is nowhere in the instructions that it explains what a chain bow is. But if we skip over to the paid pattern, it says 2 DC around chains 2DC to corner. What this is saying is when you are stitching your pattern, these 2 double crochets are going all the way around your chain, not through it. So as you can see, the loops are going all the way around, not in. So that's all that's saying about the chain bow. This is the beginning of row 14 to set up for row 15. So we have 1 chain 3, 1 double crochet. We're going to chain 2. We're going to skip 2, which is 1, 2, and we're going to go into the 3rd stitch, and we're going to make 1 double crochet, another double crochet in the next stitch, picking up both of the V's, and then we're going to chain 2. We're going to skip 1, skip 2, go into the 3rd with double crochets, chain 2. So this is what we're doing all the way along. So you can see in the first repeat of this section, we had 2, skip 2, 2 DCs, skip 2, 2 DCs, and then we went into those. So I am just going to turn my work. This is not in the pattern, and I'm going to show you what it means. So we're going to go 1 DC in the first stitch, 1 double crochet in the second stitch, and then we're going to put 2 into the chain bow or into the chain 2 space. So I'm going to go into the big hole, pull up 1, go through 2, go through 2, in through the big hole, pull up 1, go through 2, go through 2, and then we're just going to go into the top of the next stitch and do 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches, 1 in each. Then we're going to yarn over, go into the big hole, pull up a stitch, 2 through 2, and through 2. Pull up a loop, through 2, through 2. And that's what it means to put 2 stitches into the chain bow. Hi friends, we're now on row 18, which is labeled puff stitches. I did my chain 2 and turned, and we're going to put single crochets in the first, 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and 1 in each stitch all the way along. So I have stitched into the last stitch of this row, and we're going to do 1 single crochet into the big loop. We're going to chain 2. We're going to do 1 single crochet into the big loop, and then we're going to single crochet all the way down to the end of the line and finish with 3 single crochets in the last stitch. To start row 19, we're going to chain 3 and turn my work. I'm going to do 1 double crochet in the first stitch. We're going to chain 1 and skip the first stitch. We're going to do 1 puff stitch, which is, so we have the stitch, the yarn over, we're going to pull up a stitch, yarn over, pull up a stitch, yarn over, pull up a stitch, and then we're going to pull this through all of the stitches on the hook. And then 1 through that stitch. I'm going to chain 1, skip 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on the hook, pull through all of them, pull 1 through to seal it, chain 1, skip 1, and we're just going to do this all the way along. Now, row 22, we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to put a double crochet into the first stitch here. Now we're going to make small gaps. So when we made the large gaps, we did 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, skipping 2 stitches in the middle. This time we're going to do just 1. So we put 1 double crochet in the first stitch. We're going to chain 1, skip 1, put 1 double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Oops. Chain 1. We'll skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch. And that's it. That's how we make the small gaps. You have got all the tools you need to reach to the end of row 25. I will join you after the 10th of June for the next part where we'll do row 26 to 50. This is it for today. If you have any questions or concerns, you can't figure something out, or if something I demonstrated was not done clearly enough, reach out. I'd be glad to answer your questions, along with the other girls in the 3 in Glasses, Amanda at Obsessive Crochet Lady and Sam at Manfa Makes. All of us are here to answer any of your questions and help you along the way. We want everybody to be successful. This is Rebecca with Suricata Crafts, and have a great day and happy crafting!